guys, Lane Bolin here from the home office. The damn power went out across San Juan. Anyhow, today I'm gonna show you guys how to flip $3K on a credit card into 2.7 million cash over the next year and do that from absolute scratch. So stay tuned. In order to turn a $3,000 credit card into $2.7 million in cash as a contractor, got to do this thing called marketing, right? You just can't wait for referrals because we cannot force referrals. We can generate, forced demand with advertising, and 99% of contractors never figure this out. So that's why 99% of contractors never actually market correctly, and the ones that do are $5 million and bigger minimum. So in order to make advertising work for you, you got to pay attention to three numbers. The first number is your advertising cost or customer acquisition cost, ACAC, right? And so this is the advertising cost from the specific channel divided by the number of customers you've got. So in our case at CQC, where I was chief operating officer, we were spending $150 per qualified lead. And how do we define qualified? That is pretty simple. It is somebody that has seen our numbers, they've seen our pricing guide. We know their budget, and their budget overlaps with our pricing guide. So we're in the same ballpark. Second part is they have asked for an appointment for an estimate, and they actually show up to the appointment. So that's a qualified lead. And guys, our definition of a qualified lead, the love child of Helen Keller and Ray Charles could grope their way into a 10% close rate without ever actually knowing anything about construction. So $150 qualified lead is very liberally a $1,500 CAC, ACAC, whatever phrase you want to use. Okay, why is that important? Well, guys, as homeowners, as business owners, we must demand a 3-to-1 return in terms of advertising to profit. Like take home, put in my bank account profit after I have paid everybody, including myself, for doing the work I do inside the business. In other words, my second paycheck as a business owner, my draw, my dividend, every dollar I spend in advertising, I should be getting $3 of dividend, pure unadulterated profit back. So $1,500 ACAC means $4,500 net profit minimum, and your average remodeler is running about a 7% net profit, like after everything is paid, including yourself. And so $4,500 divided by 7% equals 65K. In other words, for us to be safely profitable from our advertising, we cannot do a job for less than 65K in scope. What does that mean? What can we sell for at least 65K? More than likely not your average bathroom. So this means our advertising should point to kitchens, additions, new home builds, whole house remodels, ADUs, big ticket stuff. This is why most contractors fuck up advertising, because they put up it's like a billboard, Bob the Builder, I've been in business 40 years, A+ rating, Better Business Bureau, call blank, 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 free estimates. That's not an ad. I mean, it was an ad in the Yellow Pages back in the 80s, but on the internet, you're gonna get handyman calls. We need to be very specific. Bob the Builder, we do badass kitchens starting at 65. I wouldn't say starting at, but use our free estimate tool, and then make sure your estimate tool kicks out a minimum 65K number. And then if they still ask you for an appointment, now we got a qualified lead. But that's beside the point. The point I'm trying to get at, guys, is for us in Raleigh-Durham, as a remodeler, we have to spend $1,500 to acquire a contract. That means that contract has to be at least 65K. If you can just take one thing away from this video, it is that. And that is your minimum scope for contracts you're advertising. Anyhow, let's now move on to the third number I want you to pay attention to, and that is 60-day cash. Now, 60-day cash. This can come from one of two ways, right? Either you're selling design services or the first draw if you're a normal contractor. So for us at CQC, we sell a design agreement, then a build agreement. We'll get into the virtues of that later. But typically from the moment we have a meeting with a qualified lead, it's 45 to 60 days before we sell the design contract. So in order to figure out your 60-day cash, that's take your average ticket, multiply that by how you price it, multiplied by your gross profit. So for us, that's 220K times 10% in order to get our design fee, times 40% gross profit, and we arrive at $8,800. So from the day we meet with that customer, 60 days later, we're ringing the register for $8,800 in gross profit. Why do we care about gross profit? Because revenue isn't all the money you can spend on your business, right? Gross profit is revenue minus the materials and the labor to execute the job. In other words, what's left over after materials and labor is what you can spend on your business, and whatever is left after that is your profit. So 8,800. Now, why is this important? Why is it important to know that my 60-day cash is 8,800 and my customer acquisition cost is 1,500? So I'd like to present to you the 60-day cash startup cycle to make 2.7 million. Sorry. So let's just assume we're starting from scratch. We have nothing. We don't even have a business. We just got our LLC, we got our insurance, we got our business cards, got our website up. Man, we're ready to rock and roll as contractors. We told our old boss to shove it up as you know what, and we're on our own. So what do we do now? First of all, we go get a credit line of $3,000, whether that's one credit card of $3K, two credit cards, $1,500 each. Hey remodelers, if you find this content useful, would you do me a big giant favor? And if this is on a podcast, would you subscribe to the podcast? And if you're consuming this on YouTube, would you smash the like button and the subscribe button? It'll help us with the algorithm so more remodelers can discover this content. I would be your fan forever. Thanks, guys. Cool, still with me? And what we do from there, we spend $1,500 in month one. Why? Because we know we need to spend $1,500 to generate a contract. And then in month two, we spend another $1,500. Because at the end of month two, that's when, on day 60, that's when we get our first payday. In month three, we get $3,520 back. And we spend $1,500 and we pay $1,500 back to our credit card and we save $520. And then in month four, we get another $3,520 back because we sold another design agreement. And if you're wondering, you're like, Lane, wait, what are you doing? I thought you're getting $8,800 in gross profit. And I'm saying, yeah, except I'm basing this off of our bare minimum, guys. Our bare minimum is an 80K kitchen. Month four, we get a minimum $3,520 back. We spend $1,500 on advertising. We fully pay back our credit card, and we saved another $520. Okay, so now we're debt free, and we got a machine that is kicking us $3,520 back every month, okay, off of our front end offer, our 60-day cash offer. What do we do there? Well, we take $3,000 out of this time. We save $520. We spend $3,000 on our marketing. And also in month five, our first build contract starts, averaging $220K, because you're commanding a minimum. You're following the Remodel Commander rules, 1.6x to 2x markup, minimum $75,000 project scope or $70,000 project scope. The point is you're getting the markup, okay? What does that mean? For the next 12 months, actually it's 24. Sorry, it's 24. I got my math all wrong. It's 24 and 24. So 24 times 3,520, that's 84,480. 84,480. And 24, because remember, we're spending enough for two contracts, times 88,123, and that's $2,112,000 in gross profit. And $2,112,000 in gross profit divided by 0.4, because that's our gross profit margin, and we get $5,280,000 company. And what is that in gross profit? Times 0.1. 528K in gross profit. So guys, following this system, you could be homeless if you could just scrape together 3K. In other words, be homeless for a month. Go work at McDonald's and save every dime, because I assume if you're homeless, you don't have a credit card. Or just go get a credit card for 3K. And this is how you can go from a cold start to a $5 million company 18 months later, netting you, after you pay yourself, $528K in dividends. This is how you go from homeless to top 1% income, by understanding how to leverage marketing as a contractor. Don't get me wrong, I love referrals. I do. But referrals are a function of your baseline level of business. And the problem is less than 1% of contractors do more than 5 million in a year. And less than 1% have figured out how to advertise profitably. Do you think that's a coincidence? Absolutely not. So this is, again, guys, this is how we can go from a cold start with no reputation to a $5 million company 18 months later off of a $3,000 credit card, just by paying attention to three numbers: our advertising cost of acquisition cost, our ACAC, our gross profit lifetime value, in other words, the average gross profit we make per contract, and our 60-day cash. And so as owners, the levers we want to pull is, most guys, I'll tell you, the wrong lever to pull is to focus on your ACAC, because your ACAC is going to be dictated to you by Facebook. It's going to be dictated to you by Google. There's only so much you can optimize. But you know where you can really move the needle? And that's in your 60-day cash collections, because you understand your gross lifetime value per customer. Does that make sense, guys? So let's focus on expanding our 60-day cash from our gross lifetime value. And then it really doesn't matter what our ACAC is, as long as we're getting 3 times that in net profit, and we control for that by setting our job size minimums and our gross profit minimums. I hope this was helpful, guys. Hope this was eye-opening. All right, y'all be good. I'll see ya.